In Islam, we say Alhamdulillah when something happens bad or good, we still say Alhamdulillah. That is because we believe that whatever happens, even if it seems bad, there is something good to it. I'll give you an example. So, my Muslim brothers and sisters, when we always read the Quran and we come across this story of Sayyidina Musa. Sayyidina Musa was wondering how does the fate work, and then Allah advised him to accompany a man, and this man's name was Al-Khidr. So Sayyidina Musa goes to this man and he tells him, can I accompany you? But the man says, yes you can, but on one condition. You never ask me about the reason of why I did this or that. Never ask me until I tell you myself. So that Sayyidina Musa agrees. The first thing that this man did was get on a ship with Sayyidina Musa. And what he did on that ship made Sayyidina Musa go crazy. So what he did on that ship is that he made a hole on that ship. The problem here was that this ship was owned by a poor family who used that ship to make their living. Sayyidina Musa was like, why did you do that? Did you do that to make those poor people struggle? And then Sayyidina Al-Khidr told him, hey, remember, I told you not to ask me about the reason until I tell you, right? He said, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I won't be asking you again. And then the second thing made Sayyidina Musa go even crazier. The second thing they did, they walked into an old village or a village, and then they asked the people of this village, the inhabitants, to give them food, to give them water, to give them shelter. But those people said, no, we won't receive you. They said, all right, no problem. And on their way out of that village, they found a wall that is going to fall, like a tilted wall. So they started building it. They built the wall. It's like they demolished it and then they rebuilt that wall. And then Sayyidina Musa was like, hey, we could have asked those people for money. Like what we did them a favor. We rebuilt a wall in their village. And then Sayyidina Al-Khidr said, hey, remember, this is your second time. And then Sayyidina Musa said, okay, I'm sorry. If I do it again, that's it. And then Al-Khidr said, okay, if you do it again, هذا فراق بيني وبينك. If you ask me about the reason for anything that I do again, then that's it. That's the separation. No more accompanying. Third thing was the craziest one. So what they did next made Sayyidina Musa, even he can't hold it. I don't think I'd be able to hold it. None of you would. So they saw a boy, and what Al-Khidr did is that he unalived that boy, little boy. Then Sayyidina Musa got super angry, and why did you do that? And then Sayyidina Al-Khidr said, all right, so that's it. That means a separation. And since it's separation, and here I am telling you why I did those three things. So first, I made a hole on that ship because there is like a tyrant king who aims to take the good and the nice functioning ships. And when I did that, they can easily fix it. And this also means that that king is not going to be able to take over their ship and it will remain theirs. Well, and number two, this wall, which was about to collapse, belonged to a good man. And this man buried a treasure for his boys, his sons, his kids. And this man died. So rebuilding the wall means the treasure will remain buried until those two kids grow up, and then they can take the money, because if the wall collapsed, the treasure will emerge and then people would take it. And the third was that boy was the son of two very good parents, like a very good woman and a very good man, and this son was going to give them hard time in the future and cause a lot of trouble to them. So Allah wanted to replace that kid with another boy who is going to be helpful, who's going to give them blessing, who's going to make them happy, etc., etc. When you look at this story, when you read it from Quran, what you see and what you imagine and what you think is the POV, or the point of view of Sayyidina Musa, the point of view of the narrator, and that's Allah, the point of view of Al-Khidr. But here is the magic. And here's exactly how fate works. There are three ways the fate works in our lives. The first is that sometimes things that may seem bad happen to us. And after a short period of time, it turns out, oh, so that's something that had happened to me and I thought it's bad, it actually prevented me from getting into trouble, or it, like, you know what I mean? Something bad happens to you, it's small, you can get over it, but then because of this, you kind of win something eventually. Second type of how fate works is that some stuff happen in our lives and we don't understand why did this happen. Like the wall, probably those kids didn't see Sayyidina Musa and Al-Khidr building those walls, and maybe they were asleep and the next day they woke up and their wall is like built, and they're like, what did that, like, how did that happen, who did that, and all those questions. Sometimes things happen in our life and we don't have like an interpretation, we don't have, like, there's no reason. Like, for example, you're going to work and then you remember that you left your key at home, or you left your wallet, and then you have to drive back and come back, and you think, well, why did that happen? Is there a reason to that? In fact, things like that might have happened to protect you from something. So probably if you hadn't forgotten your wallet and you took it with you in the first time, probably you might have gotten into an accident, or there might have been trouble your way or something. And then the cruelest is the third. Probably the woman whose son was killed. She would never forget about him, and probably she will continue to grieve the rest of her life. And she doesn't know that this was done for her best, right? She would never know. And here, my friends, after hearing this story, I hope you look at things differently and always say Alhamdulillah. Bad or good, say always Alhamdulillah. Accept your fate and try to know which one is that. Is it something happened to you that you don't have an interpretation for? Something happened that doesn't have meaning, you don't see the meaning, but probably it will mean something in the future. Or something happened that may seem bad, but after a short period of time will turn out to be good. Or something that broke your heart, and your heart would remain broken until the last day of your life. This is how it works. So always remember and always say Alhamdulillah. Thank you.